Everybody, at long last we have plot details for the final chapter of the Tales of Arcadia universe, Wizards Tales of Arcadia. These plot details come by way of Animation Magazine, which posted an article earlier this week about Wizards Tales of Arcadia. I will read it in its entirety and then we can talk about it. Following Troll Hunters in the second series, Three Below, Wizards marks the final chapter in the trilogy that brings together the three desperate worlds of trolls and aliens and wizards. In this newest installment, Wizard in Training Deuce and the heroes of Arcadia embark on a time-bending adventure to medieval Camelot that leads to an apocalyptic battle for control of magic that will determine the fate of these supernatural worlds that have now converged. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly does that mean? First off, it means that I was right, and there's time travel in the show. Second off, that means that there's time travel in the show, and the defenders of Arcadia are going to medieval Camelot. And we'll see King Arthur and maybe the Knights of the Round Table. Or maybe Guinevere. In fact, we may have already seen her. She might be this woman in the poster. Also, she is in this image being handed the Scath rune by Claire. The reason I say that is because she is actually in the painting with King Arthur. And as you know, King Arthur's wife is Guinevere, so it only makes sense. Now, speaking of this image, there is a couple interesting things in this image. First off, we can see the exact same shape that is in the forehead of our main antagonist of the series. We'll talk more about him in a little bit. Also in the image, there is a clock on the left side. Now, the interesting thing about this clock is that it is in the exact shape of the Amulet of Daylight. What does this mean? Maybe Merlin was one of the advisors for King Arthur, as he is in the book, and he constructed this clock. And maybe this was sort of a failsafe if they ever need to get back to this time period. Now, that's just a theory, but a very interesting one at that. I still thought it was worth pointing out. Now let's talk about the main antagonist of the season. It is very clear to me and pretty much everybody else that this guy on the very top of the poster is going to be the antagonist. Now this is the same guy in armor that we saw in Season 2, Episode 12 of Three Below when Toby called Jim and we see this night guy after being told to check Troll Market. Now who is this, you may ask? Well, a very insightful commentator pointed out when Toby said in Season 1, Episode 21, where he started to eat the books and becoming a knowledge god, he started spouting about a being named Dragonoth. Now, what he said is, Dragonoth will rise. Now, could that be a throwaway line? Very possibly, but could it be this guy? I think it is very possible. Also, the minions of this guy look very, very cool. They look to me like Wendigos. Now, that's a very general term for things that live in the woods and kind of look like this. Now, I'm not 100% certain. Anyways, let's go on to the next thing. Now, there's only a few more things to talk about. For one, there's this new character named Callista. Now, interesting thing about Callista is the fact that she is a trickster troll. Could she be the one that caused this whole thing to go back in time? I think that is very possible that she could have helped Troll Jim travel back in time, because as we saw in Season 1, Episode 6 of Three Below, time travel is very possible with the trickster troll, Porygon, causing time loops. Now, he didn't really loop time. He more just went back in time over and over again to retry. Now, this troll appears in one more image. I'm going to show you that in a minute. But before I do that, which that image is just top the cake. There's this other image that I forgot to include in my last video, but it is very, very important. Deuce is standing here, and he's wearing his original street clothes. Also here is Steve, Troll Jim, Claire, and a whole bunch of knights. Now, these knights don't look quite human. That could just be because they're wearing masks, but as you see on top of Steve's head, he has a standard helmet on. Now, I don't really know what that's about, but this image honestly looks like they just traveled here. Now, what I'm thinking is that they just traveled here, and all of the other images of Deuce, which would explain why he looks younger in this image, and in all the other images, he looks old, is the fact that this is our current Deuce from the future after he does the magic to make himself look young. And the Deuce that we already saw was the one from the past. Also, the Merlin that we already saw is also from the past, and they are all living in Camelot, which would explain a lot of discrepancies. Now, there's one more image that just completely tops the cake. I'm about to show you it right now. That's right. Vendel, Drawl, and all of these characters are all together. Now that character, again, Callista, is right front and center, leading this army of troops. Now, honestly, I don't really know when this took place, but I think it's very possible that this took place in the past before the Battle of Killahead Bridge. Now, the reason I say that is because, for one, all these characters are still alive, and they all fought in the Battle of Killahead Bridge. I did not see this new troll here, Callista, but all these other characters were in the Battle of Killahead Bridge. Now, I think this is before. In fact, I think it's before the Gum-Gums turned evil. Because, for one, all of those soldiers in the back are all wearing the same uniforms as those turned Gum-Gum soldiers. Now, I don't know this for 100% certainty, but I think I'm pretty close. Also, if you notice, Blinky's brother's eyes all are normal. So that means that this is all old. It has to be. I also think that Vendel is holding a old staff made of a completely random crystal material. The reason I say that, for one, it's not orange. Now, that could just be a result of color grading, but I don't think so. Anyways, that is all of the plot details that we know so far. Now, I will be making a video in another few days, just talking about all this stuff, and possibly a live stream, depending on how our schedules work out, me and Dr. Hero. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Click my next video. Also, I have a Patreon now, and a Discord for troll hunters. So it's not a troll hunters, it's a wizard Discord. So go down there, click the first link in the description, and just go do that. All these images were found, and I'll keep links to them in the description. Anyways, I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.